So today we will talk about branding, what it means, how you can change it. We will also talk about images that are in the application. We will talk about how to set up form and view UI. So what do we mean when we say branding? It's obviously the colors in the application, how the, and also here in the about section, information that you can see there, logo of the application. You can change all of this in Woodford, and now I will show you how. Okay, so if we go to this branding part here and change some things, for example, the title. First of all, let's see how it looks before the change. Here is the about info in the application, and here I can change the title, website, and so on. So let's do this. And yeah. And let's do this. And I have to save the stuff. I have to publish it as always. Synchronize the application. And now you can see the changes. I can also change the logo. For that, I have to go to images, and I want to point out that here in the icon is the path to logo. So let's go to images, to directory logo, find the logo, click on custom. I will show you how to change the images later on. So here's just, this is just quick. You will see, and you will see more about it later. Here is my logo. I will just save it, publish it. Once it's published, synchronize, and here we go. We have logo here. So this was just the warm-up, and let's go to images. We know two types of images in the application. First type, we call them dynamic images, and those are the images related to data. For example, you've got some customer and you've got a picture of them in your application. That's dynamic images. These images are saved in your CRM on your backend. You can also have product images saved in the CRM, and then we call it dynamic images. Then we have project images. These are related to app project, and those are, for example, icons, as you saw when I was changing the logo. So now I will explain a bit more of what you saw in those project images. You can see that there is directory, and images are organized in directories, and you can also create a new directory by clicking on add directory. Images here are shown in alphabetical order. If you want to find existing images, you either have to know the directory and its name, and if you know only the name, you can also search here, use this search field. Then you can see the checkboxes here, and the checkbox common images controls whether the images are not platform specific. If they are displayed here. You can also choose platform specific images, but we strongly recommend to use common images and to use XHDPI resolution, and Woodford will automatically resize all of the images for the used device. Okay, so let's go to demo. And what I want to do is to change the project, to change images on home screen. Those are the images that are shown here. So I'll find the directory home. I'm gonna work with common images here. I'm not gonna go to any platform specific images. I want to change the contact image. So I will click here or where the custom image should be and choose this pretty orc, and this will be my contact. I'll save it. Then if I also want to change an image for map. So search map, custom image, again saving it, and I can also change the images for setup and about. So let's go here and use this. If I don't want to use the image that I chose, I can either replace it by another one or I can delete it. I can copy to default images. And if there is no image here, the default image is going to be used. So I want this one. What will happen after I save and publish this? And after I synchronize the application? And yeah, I have my images here. Now, okay, I think I also wanted to show you colors in the map. And I want to talk about this theme here. You can click on any color. For example, this one, this is for title, so it will be this color, and you can change it any way you want to. So let's say it will be this one. You can also go here and you can see there are used colors, and if I want to change everything that is this blue, doesn't matter if it's like list view header foreground or list view something, give me something color, I will just click here, change it like this. And I also want to change the text here in the title. And if I don't want to pick the color, if my design department told me that my text should be this color, I will just write it here and I will use this here. Okay, again, save and publish. And here I am with my pretty app, pretty green app. Okay, the next one is the poll. We would like to ask you if you have ever changed the default Resco icons and themes. So if you have changed both, please say yes. And yeah, we will wait for your answers for about 30 seconds. And then we will show you how many of you already changed the icons and themes. Okay, so let's see the results. Or okay, so 60% of you already changed the default Resco icons and themes, and I'm sorry for not showing you the graphs, but yeah, you have to just believe me. And And let's go back to the training. And okay, so we've got two types of form layouts. We've got what we call tabbed UI. It's the first image here. And then we've got what we call flexible forms. Okay. Okay, I don't know if every one of you heard what I said, but okay. Form layout, this is the tabbed UI and this is the flexible form. In this tabbed UI, users can see one tab at a time and they can switch to different tabs by tapping a button in the menu. So it's these icons here. Flexible form is the one where multiple tabs are displayed at once in a grid, and tabs can be placed in multiple columns. You can collapse them so they show only the header, and on smaller screens, user might have to scroll down to see all of the content. So for smaller screens, tabbed UI is still the best. I would like to show you how to change it. So let's go back to Woodford here, and we can change it in 3 different ways. We can change it in configuration here, and here's the setting flexible forms. Now all of my tabs, all of my forms have tabbed UI. If I change this setting here to true, save it and publish it. You can see that my forms changed to flexible forms. And here I've got 2 columns with all of the tabs. And this is also true for all the other forms, for other entities. Okay, what if I want to have these leads, quotes, opportunities, if I want to have all of the tabs in flexible UI, but I, for some reason, want to have accounts as a tabbed UI. I can change it on a form level. For this, I go to account, show UI. This will take me to the screen where I change, where I can design my forms and views. Let's open the form and let's click on this icon layout here. If I'm choosing project default, this will just take the setting from the configuration that I showed you before. But I want to disable the flexible form. If I disable the flexible form, I will use the tabbed UI. So let's say OK, save and close, publish. And for the leads, which I did not change, we still have flexible forms. And for accounts, which I have changed, we have tabbed UI. Okay, if I want to change from tab to tab, info, address, map, everything. There is also an option to let user change how they want to see the UI. What I would like to do is that I change this back to default. I change configuration. Here I will just clear this. It will be as it was in default. And if I did not lock this setting for user can just, after synchronization, user can just go to setup, and here in appearance they can change the new form UI. Okay, so I want to turn it on, and you can see that I really hope it will work. Yes, new UI in the settings, it means that the flexible form will be turned on. Okay, I also have some other settings on form, and what I want to show you is this account. Okay. Okay, and we will play around with this this form. First of all, for this tab general, I want to hide the header as a whole. It won't be any icon, it won't be any label. So I will set header to hidden, and you see a preview of how it will look like in the app here. Then I want to change the address header so that it shows only the label and there is no icon. And I also want to change the map width. So you can see that now the map takes one column, and I want it to be wider to take both columns. And so let's set it to large. And also in contact list, I don't want to use this icon, but I want to use home icon because yeah, I just like it, in case you didn't guess that. So let's go here. As you can see, there is no header here in tab general. Address doesn't have any icon. Map is really white, and contacts has this cute icon here. But the magic doesn't stop here. You can also see the contact orientations. It's like this. You scroll like this. What I can change is also here the height of the contact list. I can say it will be three rows. Okay, and I can also change the orientation. So it will, I won't scroll horizontally, but I will scroll vertically, and I will do it like this. And the last thing I want to show you is how to collapse collapse the header. Obviously, we can do it like this in the app, but what if I want to have it collapsed by default because I just don't want to take as much space? So let's go back to the form designer and change this to collapsed. Okay, and I think I collapsed the general tab instead of address tab, and since I hide the header, I just kind of didn't do the best thing ever. But yeah, don't worry, let's go to something else. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is how to make tables on form. We have because as you can because as you could see in the application, the fields always took the whole width of the column if we were in the flexible UI, or the whole width of the form if we were in the tabbed UI. We can do two things. We can either set up AutoGrid or we can set up a table. The picture here is from Woodford when you are setting up the table. I will show you in demo. But first, let's talk about the AutoGrid. That one thing, it's easy, but it's not very flexible. You will just set up the maximum number of columns and minimum width of column. And then table gives us more possibilities. You can set up how many columns and rows you have, and you can also change which of these boxes a field take in the table. So let's see how it works. Okay, I think I will change this back to icon and label so I can see it again, and this to expand it. And yeah, okay, if I want to make AutoGrid from this make AutoGrid in this general tab, I just have to set up maximum number of columns. Let's say it will be 3, and minimum width. I want to do 500, and if the width of the form exceeds 500, then there will be 2 columns, and if the width of the form exceeds 1000, there will be 3 columns. So let's see how it works. And yeah, I kind of think we won't see it in this UI because the form is pretty narrow, so I will have to change it back to the tabbed UI so I can actually show you how it looks. Okay, so here we are. This is the one column. Once it exceeds 500, I've got 2 columns here, and yeah, I think it won't exceed 1000 on this screen of mine. So yeah. But if you try it at home, it will work like that. I can also change the grid behavior property here for a field. For example, if I say that I don't want this website, I want this website to be form wide, I can change it to full width. And if I think that I want everything after facts to be in one column, so like a full width, I can change this grid behavior to break after. Now I would like to show you the tables. For this, I'll go back to default on the general tab. Or better, I will add detail, and I will add a table here. So first of all, I have to I can choose how many columns and how many rows I will have in the table, and I can play with the numbers, how wide and high will those columns and rows will be. So I want to have 4 columns, 3 rows, and I want 3 columns, 3 rows, and I want to say that this column will have that the first column will be twice as wide as the third or the second or the third column. So I'll just set it up like this. And now if I want to add fields into the table must be chosen, and I'll just click on the fields in this fields pane. Okay, let's say I will add this street 1, street 2, and now, okay, I want to have name in these two positions. Okay. Okay. I want to have name in these two positions, and latitude here, no, name here, latitude like this, longitude, let's say here, city, let's say here, country will be here. It's gonna be very weird table, but you will see what is possible to do with this stuff. If I want to save and close, I will get this error because I've got some fields in the table which don't have which are not assigned to any box. So I'll just have to remove it. Okay. Yes, I think also this one. Okay. And let's go to accounts. And I would like to remind you that you can, if you have any questions, you can always ask in the questions part in the GoToWebinar, and Lukasz will answer them. So this is my, this is the table. And as you can see, I said, and you can see here that the first column, it's from here to here, is twice as wide as the second and third column. You can see that latitude takes up this space, longitude this. We've got this city, we've got the name, and we also have this empty space because I set it up this way. So this is basically very versatile, and you can make really nice tables here. Okay. What is next is images on form. These are the dynamic images that I told you about in the beginning. Images related to the and to particular records. We've got two ways of how to work with images. First of all, there is a media tab, and this is a special tab which you can set up for different actions. You can capture photo there, select photo, record video, capture signature. You've got really many of them. You can find them in our academy in the course user interface, which you should definitely take after right after this webinar. And you can also find them in our wiki, which is also a great resource. And yeah, so we've got this media tab, and we also can add image on a detail tab. And since this spring, you can also add some image actions into the general tab. So it's like separate tab versus image on detail tab. Let's go to Woodford again. And let's go to this form, and let's add a new media tab. I'll click here on add media. I want to name it image. It's the name of the tab which will be shown there. I want to set title to form image because this title is important when we are setting which image will be shown in a form. In for example, in the if I'm adding image on the detail tab, then usually I can kind of choose which image will be through this title and also through binding with the special record. I will talk about it in a few minutes, so don't worry if you don't understand now. And I want to set actions clear, capture photo, and select photo. So yes, save and close, publish, synchronize. And as you can see, I've got a new image here, and I can capture picture, which will do this. Hi again. Take the photo, accept it. You have it here. If I don't like it, I can clear it and choose the picture instead. I would like to choose this one because it's pretty, and save it. Okay, let's add these images on tab general. So let's add it here. What I will do is that I click on add image, choose form node image, and this will somehow magic. Okay, for now, save and close it, publish, and you can see there is this image, the same that on the media tab. It's exactly because of that name form image. I will show you now how this binding works. So as you can see, this image one, it's this field. This one has got style form node image. Okay, let's just remember that. Let's go to edit styles, choose the form node image, and find the image query here. And you can see that the conditions for choosing which image will be shown are that the title equals form image and the regarding equals ID of the record. So, and that's basically how the image was saved on the media tab, and it's in the node entity. Okay, I don't want to change this yet. We'll play around with these styles later, I promise. And what I want to show you now are those new actions for image. So as I said, since spring, we can add some actions here. And what I want to do is capture photo, select photo. I want to be able to clear the image and edit the image. Let's go to app. And as you can see, I can click on the image now, and I can choose if I want to delete it. And here I can capture or choose another picture. Yeah, this one. If I save it, I can also see it in this image media tab again. And what I can also do is to edit it. If I go here and here choose edit image, I can draw, I can cut it somehow, stuff like that. I can save it, and it's here now. Not here yet because I did not save the thing, but it's here now. Okay, but I don't like it, so let's delete it. Click on this placeholder, and once again choose this one. Okay, There is another thing I want to show you before going back to my presentation, and it's basically how to format the fields. What I think must be mentioned is that here in the fields, each field has a type, right? And you can change formatting here, but this is mostly for like you can use this, for example, to do some fancy stuff like barcode. If I change this city to barcode, it will give me an opportunity. It will give me a possibility to search in a view by scanning a barcode to and it will search in this field city. But yeah, let's keep it the way it was, and yeah, I will discard the changes, and let's go to the form editor. I just wanted to mention that the possibility was here, and here let's check let's check how the field looks. For example, for this website, if I change style from normal to, let's say, multi-line, you can see here in the preview how it has changed. The label is on top, and this is like multi-line field. I will show you also in the app how it looks like. Okay, so it looks like this. Okay, it's a multi-line. Okay, I'll change it back because I don't really like it that much. And about that image, let's do something about it. It looks like this now. It's on the right side. We've got the label on the left, and I don't really like it. So let's change this style form not image about which we were talking. If we go to the edit styles and go here, and this is my form not image. However, I don't want to change this style because these styles are used project-wide. This means that if I change it here and I have another image which uses this style in another form, it will also change there. What I want to do instead is to create a child style. I'll do it by selecting the parent and clicking on add. This child style will inherit all of the properties from the parent style, and if I change something in the child style, the link will be broken with the parent style and it will take the setting which I have changed. If I change something in parent which wasn't changed in the child, it will be shown in the child. So okay, let's go to this new style. What I want to change is the name. Let's say my form style. Also, I want to change label horizontal alignment to center, label position to top, and editor horizontal alignment to center. I checked what I have to change so it will look like I want it to look like. If you want to do this, if you want to understand what each of these settings means and how to change them so it looks the way you want to, go to our wiki, and it's a really great resource for all these details, and it's described there. So okay, you can see that it did not change here, and it's because this image still has its style as a form node image. However, I created my form style, and if I change it to this, it will change, the field will change. Sorry. I also don't like the name image1, the label image1, so I will change binding to image, and it will look like this now. Save and close, publish, synchronize. And let's go to account. And as you can see, the image has its label on top. It's the form white. So this is exactly what I wanted. Okay. This was basically everything about the forms now. And what I want to talk about is views layout. We've got different types of views, and you can see the first one I will show. The first one I want to talk about is this grid layout. If you have a wider screen, you can display multiple list items in line by using the cone settings. You can see like it's this red color because it's red here. So it's the cone settings. You will just set up the maximum number of records to display in one line, and fewer records can be displayed. If the screen is narrower, it means that if I set up the row in a way that this one record has a width of 400, I will set up 5 columns, but my screen got only 600 pixels, then I will see only 3 of these rows here. This is good if I want to, if I have very narrow rows or very narrow rows. And for example, if I want to do something like a gallery. Another option is to have automatic responsive layout. Responsive layout, what we under the word responsive layout is that if I change the width of the screen, the layout will change. For example, here, this is a layout that I set up for narrower screens, and if I change the screen to wider, it will change like this. This is automatic. It means that that it's automatically generated in a way that it's in a one row, and the way it generates is that it will take the first primary field, and for example, it's a name here, like this key house, and it will just add it as a first cell in this row, or first field in this row, and then it will take all of the other fields from the list and just add it into one row. To set it up, you have to change the boundary when it changes from the narrower to the wider screen, and it's a pixel. For example, if I set auto grid to 600, then if the width of the form is less than 600, it will use this view, the narrower view. If it's greater than 600, it will use the wider view. Then we have custom responsive layout, and if you want the view to be different when the screen is wider, but you want to define your own wider view, you can use this custom responsive layout. You can even define more views for different intervals, and And so first you have to design all the necessary row templates. It's why this blue color is here. So you have more row templates. You can change its width. So each row template will have different width, and you can chain them then with this option next, right? If you don't understand, I will show it to you in a demo. I will give you an example in the demo, so don't worry about that yet. And then we also have auto header, and auto header allows us to set if the header appears, and the header contains names of the fields used in cell of the view, laid out to respect the design of the view. Clicking or tapping on the field in the header allows simple sorting. You can see that now it's sorted by price by price. And please note that when multiple row templates are used, auto header will use the first template as its source. We can also have different rows, like each like for example like this, and you can achieve, and if I wanted to achieve what is here on this screen, I would have to design 3 different row templates with this, and one will have blue background, the other one will have red background, the other will have orange background, and then I will have to define when will be each row used. I will define it in a row script by using some conditions and such. However, this is basically business logic, so it's out of the scope of this webinar. Okay, let's see what I can, let's see how it works in Woodward. So first of all, let's go to the grid view. It was like that gallery, and I will create a new view, which I will call grid. I'll keep, and I will use primary and secondary. And yes, I want to. Oh, okay. If I want to, I don't want to have empty fields here, right? I want to have some or empty cells here, because we call it cell in if it's a view. I want to add some fields here. I want to have like I don't know, country, city, or something like that. But I don't have it in fields in this fields pane now. For it appears to here, and for me to be able to use it, I have to go here to select fields and choose what I want to use. Okay, I want to use city and country, and here if I click on this, double click on city, it will appear here. I can also take country, drag it here. It will take the style that will be selected the first time. Okay, if I select this, take this, it will have the same style. If I select name, take, okay, no, okay. Okay, however, I don't really want to drag it here because yeah, I don't want to play around it, so let's double click and use this. I want this to be 90 white. Okay, while I change all of these settings, I'm just changing the settings left top width height for each cell, so it will look okay-ish. And while I'm doing this, you can write your questions, so Lukasz will answer them for you. Okay, so I'll have, okay, so this is my view. I just designed it, and I want to have 5 columns. So let's publish it. And as you can see, nothing has changed, but it's because this is the view default. But if I click here, I've got my field grid. I've got grid here. So as you see, when I'm making the view narrower, I've got less columns, but the most columns I have is 500, and each row always has 110 pixels. Let's create auto-responsive, a new view with auto-responsive layout. Again, primary to secondary. And okay, this view's got 320, and it's okay. And as I mentioned before, I just have to set up that boundary when it kind of changes to the automatic width layout. So I decided my boundary will be 500. Okay, one of the cells is empty. You cannot do that. So again, select fields, city, country, 7, close, publish. Synchronize and change to auto-responsive with a typo. This is the automatically generated layout, the wide one, and this is the narrow one. This is less than 500 wide, more than 500 wide. Okay. Let's see how the custom responsive layout works. Okay, so this is my default view with the width 320. And I again want to add city country here. And then I also want to create a new wider view, which will be used when the width exceeds 500. So I will clone this row, and you can see that there are 2 rows now. There's this default, the narrow one, and this copy, the wide one. It's not wide yet, but it's wide now after I change the width to 500. And yeah, I will just set this a bit wider, and I will just call it wide. Since I have some empty space here, I will just add street 1, street 2, and postal code to the view. I want to have country here. I want to have postal code here. Street 1 should be here. Make it a bit more narrow. And 2. And I want these two to be aligned to the left. So I will change the style from air gray. Air gray, it's like right, aligned to right, and it's gray to just gray. It will be aligned to left, and it will look a bit better. You can play around it once you try it at home. So let's publish it. Synchronize. And custom responsive. You can see this is the narrow one, and yeah, I forget to chain it. Okay, this is the narrow one, but if I wanted to change to the other one when it's wider, I have to set up this next wide to to the wider row. For this wider row, since there is no next white, this is like the widest one I have, I can keep it on white on the same. But for this default, this has to be set to white. I can create how many rows I want this way. It can change each 10 pixels. I don't know why you would do it, but it's possible. And chain it through this setting. So now, yeah. Okay. This is the smaller, the narrower view. You can see there is like name, city, country. And if it's wide enough, here we have name, city, street, number of street, country, postal code. And yeah, this USA is like this country is moving because it's that right alignment, the alignment to the right. Okay, so this is for view layouts. One more thing I want to talk about are images on views. I would like to change images on default view. So let's do this. First, I will make some space for the images, and then I will add image. And I want to choose list node image. This is basically the style that will be used. The style will be list node image here. Okay. Okay. If I go here to edit styles, check the list node image, and check the query, you can see that the title is list image. So to show some image here, I would have to have data for it. I would have to have something saved in the list image view. However, I know that I've got something in the form image, and I think that it would be nice to show it on the list. So what I can do is change this list image to form image. However, again, this would change the style project wild. So if I use this style named list node image anywhere else, it will just change this binding, change this image query to form image, which is probably not something anyone wants. So let's do and actually you can check in dependencies where it's used, but okay, I don't want to change it anyway. So let's create a child of this style and change the image query to form image. So you can see is again images saved in the entity node. We do the title form image, and regarding is set to the particular record. I will close it. I'll change the style to my form image style, and I will change the style of this image to my form image style. Save and close, publish, and I think I did it in default view, right? Yes. So you can see there is this pretty image of something, and but we've got some white spaces here because this doesn't have any image. And yes, I can choose like this one or no, this one, add it here, save it, and it will be shown here, but probably but maybe I don't want to do it for each row. So what I can do is to choose a placeholder, and you do this again in styles. So I go back to my style, my form image style, which is used in this image, back to this image query, and I will just write down placeholder image. I want to use home contact png because this is the path to that image which is used on home. This is like directory, so directory home, and contact png, it's the image that is used for contact as on home as an icon. So let's do this. Publish. And as you can see, we've got this org here. Okay. And I do believe there is a time for our second poll. And what we want to ask you is if you have ever defined new form or view styles. Basically, if you ever played around with the styles, with defining the styles. So please answer, and we will announce how many of you played with it. You've got some seconds, and yeah, maybe 20 seconds or something. And after you you do this. Oh, and I think you can see the results now, and many of you already played around with styles, which is pretty cool, I think. So that's great. I hope you know a bit better now how to work with them, or where to find how to work with them. Once again, please go to Wiki and to our Academy. And so let's go to our next topic, buttons and multi-select. Okay. Okay, so buttons are these things that you see on the left image. In view, you can have more. You can have a few buttons, and if you click on this button, you can make some action from the view. In some operating systems, you have to just click on the view and the buttons will be shown. In some operating systems, you swipe from right to left, and that's the way how to access buttons. We also have multi-select, and this allows you to select more rows and then run the action for the more rows, and also do some aggregate functions. Those actions, you can have predefined and custom actions. Predefined are there. I will show you them in next few seconds. But about the custom actions, if you want to do them for buttons, you can do it in Woodford. Set it up using our rules. And if you want to add some custom actions to multi-select, you have to use JSBridge. So let's go to demo. And yeah, I would like to show you the buttons here. Okay, I've got the call button, email button, and more. And with the more button, I am opening the form, right? With the call, I can call this account. Now, if I go to my form, no, to my view, I'm sorry, my default view, and click on buttons, you can see the call and email here. Okay, what I want to do is to add SMS. save and close, publish, synchronize. And if I open the default accounts, click here, we've got a no. Let me publish and synchronize it once again. Okay, I've got call here, then action, and there are email and SMS, okay, because it's too many buttons, so it kind of hit into this, and there is still this more button which will open the thing. This more button you couldn't see it in Woodford, but it's here because if you have no buttons there, if you click on the row, it will just open, but you cannot like open it and also show the buttons. So that's why we have this more button. And now if I go to buttons and remove all of this by clicking reset, save and close, and this is what I'm talking about. What? Publish. Sorry, you have to always publish. Clicking on it will open the account because I don't have any buttons here, so I don't have to have that more button. It will just open right away. Okay. If you want to have your own buttons, okay. No. Okay, if you okay, let's go to multi-select. What I want to do is to add an option to delete more rows. It's not wise to do this, but let's demonstrate. Save and close publish. And now, after seeing, if I go to accounts and click and hold, and you have to hold like few seconds, because first time I was trying this, I was like, no, it's not working, and it told me hold it, wait. So 3 seconds or something, and then you are in the multi-select. You can choose some of them, delete all of them, because this is the delete action. And or if you add more actions to multi-select, you will have hamburger menu, and just you will choose one of the actions which you will perform for all of the chosen rows. There are also these aggregation functions, and yeah, let's see here, for example, sum, and let's sum latitude, because like, yeah, why not, I can. So this is the sum of the chosen latitudes, this is the sum of all latitudes. Doesn't make sense, but whatever. And it shows me that there are 5 chosen items out of 19 in the list. And yeah, okay, I don't want to delete any of my accounts. And now let's go back to my presentation. And the last thing today, which I will talk about, is a home screen. I already showed you how to change the icons on the home screen. I already showed you how to change logo in about menu. What I didn't show you is how to change this logo here on the top of home screen, and how to create a groups, because this is basically, there is this group real estate. If I click on it, this second menu is open. So this, I will show you now how to set it up in a Woodford. Let's go to first, let's do this logo. Let's go to images, go to home, and let's find the image here. Okay, let's add this unicorn. publish and sync, and you can see that the unicorn is here. Okay, and now let's play with those groups. So if I go to home screen, I would like to delete some of the things. Basically, I will click on the item and remove it. What I want to keep is lead an opportunity, set up an invoice, and yeah, let's remove this as well. Let's just add a group, and this new group I want to have accounts and contacts, and I want to change the name of the new group. What I will do is that I will go here, rename it, and I'll just say it's my customers. So it looks like this. There is this root, like on the top of the menu, and I have lead, opportunity, setup, about, and a group with customers, and inside, and those customers inside it, there are accounts and contacts inside this group. So let's publish it, sync it, and you can see leads, opportunity, setup, about. If I click on customers, I am in accounts and contacts. If I click on this arrow, I am back on the top. What I want to show you, however, is how it will look in this release that will be out on the end of the September. And yeah, if you go to home screen, you will see these things, and as you can see here, you can set up, for example, this like startup and stuff, but you don't have you have to be like an opportunity set startup. Now you can set it up from here, and basically you can drag and drop stuff and do a lot of another pretty things, and it's more intuitive, I would say, in my opinion. So yeah, and yes, I think that's all from me. Actually, yes, I think I showed you everything. What I want to say in the end is that you should definitely sign up to the course user interface in our academy. If you don't have an account in academy, please create one. It's for free. You can learn a lot of new things there. You can complete your knowledge there, and there is this new user interface course, which is basically about these things, but you've got exercises there, and you can do it at home, what's there in those exercises. So thank you for your attention, and now I would like to give a word to Lukáš, who's got who prepared some questions and answers from you.
Everyone, hope that you can hear me. So basically, there was just a couple of questions during the webinar that I was able to answer directly, except for one that we will add some example about images. So basically, how to show an image from a, let's say, a parent entity on a child one. So example like showing something like a placeholder or a default image for a contact based on account. So that's something that we will provide. It's fairly easy, but just to make sure that it will be captured in screenshots and steps. And basically, there are some questions that we got earlier about similar topics. Like, for example, whether there is any performance risk with flexible forms, if there is a lot of tabs. So basically, it can be, but it depends on what exactly is on the form itself. So if you have a lot of associated tabs with a lot of records or complicated or complex filters on the view, or if you have iframes that loads data on opening the form. This can take some time to load it, but the form itself will be shown directly. All the information that are available at that moment will be shown, and basically all the other information will be loaded asynchronously. So when it's available, it will be shown. And also it depends whether you are working in offline or online mode. So in offline mode, it will be faster. In online mode, it also depends on the latency and connection to the CRM server. Then there is a question about creating a view, for example, something like a template. So to have, for each entity, to have a view that has some specific dimensions, height, width, or amount of fields or size of the fields inside. So this is also possible. So basically in any view, you can load a row from a different entity from specific view. So you can have one reference view, for example, for account, and then you can use this view design for any other view for any other entity as well. And there is one more question, like if it's possible to add some let's say something like a stationary information on a view. So to show a sum of a specific field on the view. So this is something that needs to be computed. So it depends on how many items will be on the view, so how complex it will be. For example, if you want to show immediately a value that is computed directly on the view, you can use rules or a row script on the view, or you can use JavaScript if the row script possibilities are not enough for you. So, but you need to take into account that this can also take some time to gather all the information and sum it up. So the view can be loaded, let's say, slower when using JavaScript, or the information may not be available on the view if you use rules. And basically, if you don't use the correct conditions and steps. But if you will have something like this in mind or on your mind, you can definitely come to mobilecrm@resco.net, address your question, and we will be glad to help you out. So again, if you have any questions, just let us know, either right now here or at mobilecrm@resco.net. So I will give you some time. And if not, we'll see you on emails.
Okay, so thank you for your attention. I hope you liked it. And if you have any other questions, please send us email at academy@resco.net. Please register to Academy, visit our courses, and have a nice day. Bye.